All right, everyone. Welcome to Simply Bitcoin. We break down the news from Twitter, the daily fail, meme review, software releases, hardware releases, websites by plebes or plebs. Drop us a like, subscribe. Let's go check out the numbers.
Number time!
At the time of this recording, the block height is 691,451. The Bitcoin price, 31,685. Chain rewrite days, 1,094. We got a bit of a drop there. Total public Lightning capacity, another all-time high, 1,859.23. Bitcoin versus gold market cap, 5.3%. Sats per dollar, 3,156. It is climbing.
Another day. Another day
More sats.
at 30K. Another day at 30K. I think that rhymes. Does that? Another day at 30K.
I'm starting to see more fear, and I'm starting to see like these, these crappy like crypto whale accounts that are like posting like, that's it, they're 27K. This isn't holding. We're going to 27. Like I love these accounts, man. I find these guys so funny. These were the guys when we were at like 3,500. They were calling for $1,700 Bitcoin. Yeah. And sadly, they got some people really wrecked. People who listen to them. Why? Because they're technicians. They know how to read the charts. Listen,
They draw lines.
You can read the charts all you want, but there's something called the human factor. Okay,
Dude,
it's not always predictive. It's not always predictive. That's why you stack. Anyway,
no, you're right, dude. You just buy and hold Bitcoin. That's literally. It's so simple. It's complicated for some reason. It's such a simple thing. Just buy and hold Bitcoin. Hold it for at least a cycle, and you'll be very happy you did so. But but yeah, you're exactly right. Like people want to learn the hard way. I learned the hard way. I know you learned the hard way. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I guess it's part of the process. But anyways, Phil, it's time for
the daily fail. So I mean, it's it's kind of a rug pull. It's rug pull-ish. Anyways, here we go. Let's dive into this. I don't usually like citing Cointelegraph, but hey, they do report on the shitcoining. So, alleged $3.6 billion crypto Ponzi's victims still believing the exchange is legit. This reminds me very much, okay, obviously not the same type of thing, but similar. OneCoin, that lady there that like pretty much like Dr. Ruya, I don't know how to pronounce her name, anyways, had totally scammed all these people, and like you have all these people that still believe that it's real, even though like clearly there's nothing there. Anyways, all right, let's dive into this. Here we go. Victims of an alleged $3.6 billion crypto Ponzi scheme in South Korea are reportedly hampering the progress of a police investigation and a joint lawsuit, as they still believe in the project and hold out hopes of getting a return on their investments. Well, let's see how likely that is. On June 4th, Korean law firm Dagon reportedly filed a joint complaint against V Global, its CEO and 3 executives, on behalf of 130 investors and the I don't even know if I can pronounce that, Gyeonggi Nambu Police Agency. Okay. A notice on the company's website says that it strongly denies the false claims and has filed a complaint with the Seoko police for defamation and obstruction of business. Okay. All right, here we go. An unnamed man told Jungyang he believed his mother had been scammed by V Global a few days ago. On June 2nd, they sent her a text message alleging that no one in the company is being investigated by the police, even though we clearly just read before that they are being investigated by the police. They keep telling the investors to wait and see, to prevent them from reporting them to the police. This is very typical, by the way. In a scam situation, they always, what they do is that they try to pull at your, like your heartstrings, right, to get you to hold on and wait. But it's also like, it's a mix, right? They get you, they pull on your heartstrings, but at the same time, they also offer usually some type of like a financial reward. If you just wait, you'll see this is all going to work out, and then you'll be sitting on bigger profits. Okay, so here we go. Along with selling its own native token, V Global reportedly promised that anyone who invested a minimum of 6 million won, worth roughly $5,381, would triple their investment by being paid out in dividends after 6 months. Oh my God. I mean, just do the math, right? Do the math. This is not sustainable. They tried to imitate a cryptocurrency trading platform. Yeah, this is a rug pull. They tried to imitate a cryptocurrency trading platform, but in actuality, they appear to have been running an illegal Ponzi scheme on the investors, a police officer told Junang. Anyways, if V Global is found guilty, it would potentially be one of the biggest crypto-related Ponzi schemes on record, in a similar fashion to the infamous multi-billion-dollar Ponzi scheme from OneCoin. Oh my God, what a surprise.
Dude, that OneCoin shit was crazy, man.
Hold on. I had to go take a look at their website, right? Because of course, like, I wanted to see who like V Global was, and this is their exchange. I mean, so hold on. Withdrawal of KRW and virtual assets is restricted for 72 hours from the initial deposit approved time and virtual assets.
What?
Hey. Anyways, I mean, don't get me wrong, but like, so they immediately pop up a withdrawal notice, and I mean, look, we just saw, we just read through that article. That's absolutely disgusting. Yeah, we've seen this before. There are a lot of scammers out there. Okay, like they're called, like, it's a form of HYIP, right? High yield investment products. Okay, and they're nothing but scams. Some of them look like investment packages, right? So you'll go onto a website, they'll ask you for Bitcoin, and you'll invest Bitcoin based on an investment package, and you'll get, if you invest for 1 week, let's say, you'll get 5.7% back after the week. If you invest, let's say, for 2 weeks, you might get 8.7% back. If you invest for a whole month, you may get 10 or 12% back. Okay, so they give you these kind of things. And of course, you obviously, right, the human brain, you just stay in it because you've done the math and you figured out that if you just stay in it, you keep getting more and more, which is completely unsustainable. So,
Bitcoin!
yeah, exactly, right? And so some of them like this cleverly try to look like a trading platform.
Dude. Dude.
Anyways, it's a good one. It's interesting. People got to beware. That's why buy and hold Bitcoin.
It's fascinating that the Ponzi scheme has been around for so long. It's taken different approaches, right? But it's the same principle, right? And it still works on the human psychology, right? And it just plays on like this fundamental emotion that we all have, which is greed, right? And you just feel like, like if I just put in a little bit more and it's just going to give me a little bit more. And just people fall for that every single time, it's just crazy. But with Bitcoin, man, that incentive works out for you. Right? Because if you just keep stacking sats, right? And, you listen to your greed, but you just apply it to Bitcoin, bro, like over time, dude, it actually helps you out. Like it's like it works out for you rather than like these like get rich quick Ponzi schemes that like, just fucking fool you like in the process. But anyways, Phil, it's time for
the daily meme review. Oh, no. Such a schmuck.
Dude, listen, Phil, okay.
Schmuck.
We have to review every meme, okay? Sometimes that includes your
but then
meme.
we have to review Alex's next though, because he asked like 4 days ago.
But the reason, dude, listen, I like making you feel uncomfortable. Guys, today's meme is brought to us by you can go follow him at Quinn Icarus. He is the co-host of Simply Bitcoin. Shout out, Phil. I figured out I'll make sense. So terrible. Can you read it, Phil? Can you read it so it's in your words?
I figured it out. I'll make memes so terrible, even at LC_HODL won't want to steal them.
It's V for Vendetta, ESG, IMF, BIS, Federal Reserve. Dude, it's good. It's good. It's
It's
good.
interesting. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm trying. You can definitely see I'm trying. I got a couple of programs on my phone, so I'm giving it a shot. It's so far pretty much my skills involve taking the Bitcoin logo and putting it on things, and then adding other text. So,
Dude, if you've seen that movie, it adds to it. I saw that movie and I remember that scene, so I'm like, dude, yeah, that makes sense.
they
And
don't
for
win.
that, Phil, I'm gonna give it this delicious Dr. Pepper. What about you?
Wow, I've never had to rate my own meme, or I have, but I just don't remember. And I know that I never gave them good scores, though. Even if I did, now that I'm thinking about it, I never gave them good scores. Yeah, no, I don't know. Freaking lens cap.
Ooh, a lens cap.
Lens cap.
Okay. That's a pretty good score. Anyways, so a Dr. Pepper and a lens cap for Phil's meme. But anyways, guys, do you agree with their scores? Do you disagree? Let us know down in the comments. And of course, join our Telegram group. Link us your memes so we could review them. But anyways, Phil, it's time for
The Daily News, sponsored by
Crypto Cloaks.
Can you talk a little bit more about this request for tech companies to be more aggressive in policing misinformation? Has the administration been in touch with any of these companies, and are there any actions that the federal government can take to ensure their cooperation? Because we've seen from the start there's not a lot of action on some of these platforms.
Sure. Well, first, we are in regular touch with these social media platforms, and those engagements typically happen through members of our senior staff, but also members of our COVID-19 team. Given, as Dr. Murthy conveyed, this is a big issue of misinformation, specifically on the pandemic. In terms of actions, Alex, that we have taken, or we're working to take, I should say, from the federal government, we've increased disinformation research and tracking within the Surgeon General's office. We're flagging problematic posts for Facebook that spread disinformation. We're working with doctors and medical professionals to connect to connected medical experts with who are popular with their audiences with accurate information and boost trusted content. So we're helping get trusted content out there.
Let's we're not saying any comments yet, but again, like always, we are apolitical on Simply Bitcoin. We don't lean left, we don't lean right, we stand for freedom, because that's what Bitcoin stands for. But anyways, check out what Glenn Greenwald had to say. This is the reporter that originally broke the Edward Snowden story many years ago. But anyways,
That's right.
Check it out. The White House is admitting that they're compiling lists of people who they claim are posting content they regard as problematic and that constitutes misinformation, and they're demanding Facebook remove them. This is authoritarianism. Yeah. Glenn continues, as I've documented before, the Supreme Court has ruled that the First Amendment's free speech guarantee is violated when government officials pressure and coerce private actors to censor for them. That is exactly what the Biden White House is doing with Facebook. Again, look, we have been saying this since January that there is, you don't, when you start censoring, there's no stopping what inevitably you're going to censor, right? When you start censoring, right, when you stop letting people voice their opinions publicly, specifically on one side, it doesn't matter, on either side, right? It's going to create this bad environment, and this is exactly where we're at, right? Again, it's against the U.S. Constitution. I personally would have never thought to see the American government, just colluding, to censor Americans, right? That's so anti-American. But again, if this scares the crap out of you, like it should, kind of does for me, just buy Bitcoin and you'll be okay, right? And if, again, this goes back to the better flag theory, like Katie was talking about, where she goes on CNBC, and she basically makes the point, like, I see countries as service providers, right? I'm going to go where I'm treated best. And Bitcoin gives you the ability to do that, right? And I think, again, this is why I think it's so important to try to get a second passport if you have the means, right? Because, you know, if a country starts to go in the wrong direction, Bitcoin gives you that power to just get the hell out. And of course, you know, you could always stay and try to, you know, control the situation if you can. But anyways, Phil.
You know, questioning authority isn't misinformation, right? Like, and this is kind of what they're doing. They're kind of creating this you know, this narrative that somehow if you just don't simply agree without asking any questions, without being critical, that you're somehow spreading misinformation, you know? So it's very, I mean, look, it's very dishonest, and it's really scary, right? I mean, look, you know, you can see these social media platforms, they're getting dictated what to do by the government. I mean, that is really scary stuff. I mean, that is government through, you know, that is government through corporation. I mean, that to me sounds completely totalitarianism. Like that's like a, you know, it's like a hidden, I mean, it's like a hidden agenda, right?
And like, just connect this to like central bank digital currencies, for example, right? Like, who's going to say, like, and there's a reason that freedom of speech is freedom of speech, and there is no and if, ands, or buts, or whatever. It's just a right. There's a reason for that. And the reason for that is who gets to decide what is misinformation?
Exactly, right?
Who gets to decide that, right? There has to be a central authority that gets to decide what is misinformation. And of course, as we've seen throughout history time and time again, that gets abused every single time, right? So it's kind of like Bitcoin, right? Like it really is kind of like Bitcoin. Bitcoin has the same approach. Anyone could use the Bitcoin network, right? Anyone could associate with the Bitcoin network. If you want to write a message in a block, as long as you pay the transaction fee, you get to transact, right? And that way, you know, everybody is free, right? So, and this is a big part of America, right? So, like, them doing this is pretty anti-American, right? But anyways, I don't want to go down that route, you know, but it's just, I never would have thought as an immigrant seeing this, you know, as an immigrant of Venezuela. But anyways, let's check out this article by Nick Can't Mine, aka Nik Hoffman, inside Paraguay's proposed Bitcoin bill. And the reason I want to cover this is because it looks like this Carlitos Rejela guy that we covered, you know, he again, you know, to take Phil's approach, you know, we took the right approach to be cautiously optimistic. He wasn't a naive Bukele. But anyways, let's check out the article. Inside Paraguay's proposed Bitcoin bill. With this, we welcome the innovation of Bitcoin and shitcoin in Paraguay to the world, Rejela said over WhatsApp. This is the result of a very strong and arduous teamwork of many experts in the field, both local and foreign. Right? Anyways, to continue. This proposed bill suggests Paraguay's legislators are seeking tight control over Bitcoin mining in the country, attempting to offer investor protection from Bitcoin businesses, and specifically indicating that Bitcoin is not recognized as legal tender in the country. As mentioned in Article 5, a proposed virtual asset mining license granted by the powers of the Ministry of Industry and Trade would be required for any entity mining Bitcoin. Article 10 goes into more detail, stating that those who want to mine Bitcoin must request the authorization of industrial electricity consumption. The bill wants to protect Bitcoin. The bank wants to protect your money. The bank
want to,
we want to keep your money safe. The bill wants to protect Bitcoin investors. This would seemingly protect Bitcoin investors whose private keys are in the possession of a business like an exchange or bank from having their Bitcoin fractionally reserved or otherwise used without their consent. So again, like, I see the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Like, I see what they're trying to do, right? Like, yeah, protect or whatever. But again, Bitcoin renders that obsolete. People could take possession of their Bitcoin. They no longer have to rely on these institutions. And there you and there's another example of a central authority in Paraguay trying to control mining. Right? Why just let the free market do its thing, right? And then take a tax on that, and you're going to make more money than trying to take this top-down approach that we've seen over and over and over and over again. It never works. And again, if I saw that, I would personally, and I have a mining company, I would never go to Paraguay and mine. If I have to register my miners with the government, like, that makes me nervous, right? So, but anyways, Phil, what are your opinions?
What was that quote that you said? I was thinking of the world wasn't built on good intentions. And that's exactly it, right?
Oh,
like,
the road to hell.
Yeah, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. The same thing, right? Like, the world wasn't built on good intentions, so it doesn't make a difference that we want to protect these investors. We want to something that's why Bitcoin exists, right? Because it takes us out of the equation, So and as a result, we can go on to properly build on that layer. But there was another piece, I think, to a later article that you showed, or another piece in that article. And it's totally escaping me right now. I was talking about it earlier with Max Bybit.
I know it's easy for your mind to wander, but I want you to really concentrate on me.
Yeah, so it just made me think of your, what you were saying, okay, about your quote. About good intentions. So for me, like, the quote that I know is that the world wasn't built on good intentions. And that's exactly this type of scenario, right? Like, they pretend like they're having these good intentions to protect investors or whatnot. But at the end of the day, this has nothing to do with that. It has to do with protecting their own control. And you know what? This is the thought that I had before that I forgot, right? Governments are going to find themselves in a situation, okay, if Bitcoin continues to succeed, which we hope it does, obviously, governments are going to have to start to actually provide value for the services, right? The services and the products that they offer their constituents, right? We are supposed to be the customers of the government, but we are not.
Absolutely.
So I think that by taking the money printing out of their hands, and they understand that, they completely understand that, which is why they have to hang on to it. And I don't understand why they're so afraid of change. There's nothing wrong with the government providing value to its constituents. There's nothing wrong with us striving to live better. There's nothing wrong with that, okay?
Dude,
this isn't better what they're doing.
You hit the nail on the head. It's literally about separating money from state. Just how it was, I think it was a couple hundred years ago, separating the state from the church, right? Because the church had so much influence over society that it inevitably got corrupted. And this is the same thing. Like, why do you think Washington, D.C. is called the swamp? The reason it's called the swamp is literally because they have a money printer that pays for everything, and there's absolutely no consequences to their actions, right? This explains wars. This explains, like, failed government policies that we know, like the spying on US citizens. Like, is all that shit really fucking necessary? I would like to argue no. Right, so it's crazy, man, and it goes back to fiat, right? Like, fiat funds all of this shit, right? So it's like, if you want this to change, right, Bitcoin is a peaceful revolution. Just opt out, literally defund them, take your working energy, right? Literally take it out of a bank and put it into Bitcoin, right? Take back your sovereignty, man. Take back control of your life, man. This is what Bitcoin is all about. But that's why we don't like to like talk about price on this show, because it's not about, like, yes, number go up technology is nice. That's the incentive, right? However, the reason we stay is for the freedom, right? The freedom that Bitcoin grants you, right? That's what this is all about. But anyways, Phil, there was a software release today. Why don't you tell everybody about it?
Software releases. All right, everyone, we've got Blue Wallet version 6.1.9. Blue Wallet is a Bitcoin and Lightning wallet. Anyways, down below in the show note, check it.
Awesome. Thank you, Phil. All right, guys, that was our show. You know what to do. If you enjoyed the show, smash the like button. Smash it. And of course, if you want to continue hearing the Bitcoin news from the plep perspective and the catastrophic fiat and shitcoin fails, definitely consider subscribing. And we will see you not tomorrow. We'll probably see you like
Tuesday. Yeah.
We'll see you soon for another episode. We'll see you soon for another episode of Simply Bitcoin.